I was just telling Jenny and Anne, I'm like, if they have any questions, you are like, this is the time. And these are two of my diamonds.
Oh,
So these are the girls that are hitting and holding, and Jenny's in my second business center. If I got my stuff together, we could be one star because Jenny's like so solid. It's crazy.
that's awesome.
Yes. So these are our new diamond girls.
Hi, sorry, I have my camera off because I'm feeding my daughter.
You are totally good. I get it 100%. You're totally fine.
I think I've done that on a call with Tiffany before too, when Addie was little. I was like, I'm gonna turn it off quick.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of this business, right?
Yes, definitely.
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't know. Do you want me to get started, Brooke? Do you want to wait another minute?
I say go right in. I message them. So if anyone else hops on, we'll just catch them up to speed. But I know your time is so precious and you're so busy. So I say we go for it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, first and foremost, congratulations. There is so much excitement going on within this team, and Brooke is such an incredible leader. It's such an honor and a privilege to work with her. And I have to say, she was one of my first one-on-one calls when I first came into the company almost a year ago. Brooke, is that crazy to think about? It has been almost a year. But to kind of give you a little preface, a little bit about me, I do come from a little bit of a network marketing, direct sales background. I was with Avon Corporate for almost 10 years, smaller company. I like to say that and laugh out loud when I say it. But they were kind of the pioneer for the direct sales network marketing industry. And Beachbody is something that's really close to my heart. Changed my life actually over a year ago, January 2021, lost 40 pounds, all the things. So I believe in what we do. I believe in what you do. I bleed blue just like all of you do. And I'm wicked excited to come on this call today, especially because y'all just hit like a really big thing. And Diamond is the first step in leading a leader that is leading other leaders. It's incredible. And I'm super excited to be here, and congratulations to all of you. First and foremost. So we'll lay that out. I am going to kind of walk through a little bit of a presentation that I put together. It's very generic, probably not like high tech, because that's not me, but I wanted to make sure I get the information across and we have something in front of us to look at to be able to reference as well. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Oh, you have to enable me to share my screen.
That's what I was thinking. Once you said that.
Go up to the three little dots right by my name.
Yeah.
And make me a co-host.
Perfect. Okay. There we go.
Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to go into present mode. If I can do it today. So here we go. My fingers are not functioning well. Okay. So first and foremost, congratulations on being Diamond. Like, incredible accomplishment. So give yourself a round of applause. And with that, the beauty of what we do is, because of your hard work and dedication, your leader, Brooke, and the entire team is officially 3-star as of yesterday when it completely became official, and in the process, 3 weeks in holding, of becoming a 5-star Diamond coach and a 5-star Diamond team. So I like to just share that first and foremost, because what that means to me is how many lives are ultimately being changed. And we are in a society that the emotional, physical transformation, mental, all of the things, especially in the day and age that we're living in, is so powerful and speaks to my heart, as well as I'm sure it speaks to all of yours. So your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more. You are a leader. So I wanted to say just congratulations. There are so much amazing things to come, and I can't express it enough. When you start this journey, it just continues to get more beautiful as time goes on. So, okay, it's not letting me go on to my next slide. So we're gonna, it made me go fast. Just kidding. And I like to be funny too. So I'm sorry ahead of time, Brooke. I think I'm funny sometimes, but I'm not always funny. And if there's stuff in the chat, I can't see everything while I'm on presentation mode. So if anybody wants to come off mute and share, or Brooke, if there's anything that's needs to be said, definitely come off mute and share it with me. Okay. So in the beginning, I want you to go back to the first day that you came into Beachbody. And I want you to just think about it for a minute. What was your dream at that moment? And I just want you to take a minute and ponder that question. As you were going back in your mental Rolodex, where were you? What were you feeling? What were your thoughts? Why did you say yes? And what was your dream at that very moment? So just take a second, go back to that place, put yourself in that moment. And I mean, just sharing. And if you want to come off mute and share that with everyone, I would love it. If not, then that's totally fine too. And I'll start it. I know my very beginning of Beachbody, I was a collegiate athlete. I had a child, I was a 17-year-old daughter. And I remember 17 years, 16 at the time, before I went from being collegiate athlete, knew all the things, in shape, thought I was in shape, drinking Dr. Pepper and, eating crud all the time. And when I became a mom, I became mommy. Now, bruh, that's what they call me nowadays. It's crazy. But I became that alternate identity, which I loved and I cherish every moment. I wouldn't take back being a mom for anything in the world, but I had lost myself. So that's where I was at in the beginning. What did I want? I just wanted to find Tiffany again. I wanted to find who I was. So what was your dream when you first came in? What were you looking to achieve? Write it down. Then the next place, what's next? I mean, you've now achieved, and I get chills every time I talk about it, you now have achieved the ultimate first true level of leadership in the Beachbody realm. You potentially have achieved a dream or two that you set for yourself in the very beginning. And as you're thinking, what's next? Start jotting some stuff down, brain dump, y'all. I want to see some chat flow in. If you can get on the computer, if you can come off mute, fantastic. What is next for you?
It's Brooke. I would love to hear what everyone else has to say, but I can kind of go first too. I mean, as far as like the health and fitness stuff, I struggled with my weight my whole life. So I just dreamt of feeling good in my clothes. And that's honestly, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, man, like that was really my big why, is like, I never had that feeling of being comfortable in my own skin. And once I had my kiddos, they just gave me that push that I was like, I need to do this for them. But I always, as far as like the coaching stuff, kind of had the business in the corner of my eye. I saw my coach doing it. And my first goal was just to pay for my stuff. But I just remember sitting there wondering, I'm like, gosh, if I could be home with my babies, like that makes me want to cry. But that's what made me work so hard that first year and never give up, is just like that thought that this could bring me home to my babies. And here we are. So now it's cool to kind of start thinking about what's next, because I feel like in my eyes, like my what's next was like 5-star elite for years. And now we're so close. I'm like, okay, this is bringing me back to the drawing board of like, all right, we're doing that. Like, what's going to be next? Like, how far can I really go? And I just messaged Tiffany real quick at the best of the best girls. I'm like, that's what I can see myself doing. I'm like, all right, let's ponder that and dig into that. So I would love to hear everyone else's on here. I see some in the chat going. I know Anne's at work. So I can speak for you, Anne. I know you said you had to change for your kids. They were role-playing bad behaviors and you wanted toned arms, which the joke on our team is everyone wants Anne arms. She is a beast. And her puke goal, 1-star next by the end of the year, with a bunch of funny faces, which by the way, we think you're funny too. You fit right in. We love to laugh at ourselves.
Gosh, so fun. So fun. Awesome. So I love that you shared. I mean, the reality is that we are in such a powerful community. And as we're all dreaming together, we're all achieving goals together. And whether it be the toned arms, or whether it be hitting 1-star, whether it be being able to pay for a credit card that's been lingering over your head over the last year, income disclaimer, obviously, we do not guarantee any sort of income, but it really comes down to what is that fire that's in the pit of your stomach that makes you get up every morning? And you're on this call right now because you achieved a big milestone. It has a little bit to do with the business side of Beachbody as well, which is the catalyst to help you get to whatever your dreams are. So start thinking about what is next for you. And I mean, a dream. Beachbody goals are super important, and Beachbody goals and titles are what can help you get to where you want to go ultimately in life. But put it into writing of what you're looking to achieve personally too. What's that personal dream? What's the personal goal? And let's connect that. So as you've hit diamond, now it's all about sustaining. And now it's all about, once we're here, how do we continue to share, and who are we going to share with ultimately? So we're going to walk through a little bit, and my presentation is not going through what like I have planned. So we're going to talk about 3 things today. We're going to talk about when, what, and how. And you're going to hear my dog barking in the background because she wants to get in my daughter's room. So I'm just apologizing ahead of time. The joys of working from home, right? I love it. Want to make 100K. Awesome. And as much as I love that big puke scary goal, Ashley, I want you to think, what are the mileposts that you want to achieve on the journey to that big scary goal? And I like to use this reference. Brooke, where do you live? You live in Wisconsin. Don't tell me your address. I'm going to start driving and I'm going to get to your house. So as I say that, Brooke is my big vision. But if she doesn't give me a direction to follow or a address, am I ever going to get there? By the way, I'm directionally challenged. So you tell me left or right. I don't know north, west, south, east. I don't know all of that. So giving me that address and helping me see those mileposts as I go, that's where it becomes really, really helpful. So I love the 100,000. What are the mileposts along the way to get you to that 100,000, Ashley? And we're going to talk about that a little bit on this call. And that's all about goal setting and how you can identify your 1-month dream, your 6-month dream, and maybe that'll be a future call as well that we can put together, Brooke, later on too. So we can totally go through that as well. Okay. So when would you like to achieve the next step? Now, as I say the next step, I also want you to think about when you would like to achieve the next step, but how are you also going to sustain the step that you've already stepped into? Because I have to say, again, diamond is a huge accomplishment. And as you're thinking about that huge accomplishment that you just achieved, we want to make sure that we're sustaining it too. And that's just about continuing to share. What is next? 1-star diamond. That's basically and essentially duplicating what you've just done. Business goal. And I like to go through SMART goal, making sure they're specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-based. So as you're thinking about 1-star diamond, be specific. 1 star, if that's what you want to achieve next. Maybe it's just that you're diamond right now and you want to add 10 new people to your organization or invite 10 more friends within the next month. Be specific. It doesn't have to necessarily be that 1-star diamond. Maybe that's your 6-month from now goal. Maybe it's a 3-month goal. Whatever it is for you, everybody is unique. And that's the beautiful thing. It's just like not everybody loves the same program. 80-day obsession killed me when I first started. So you know what? Some people don't jam with 80-day obsession. I have to say it's my soul program. But then again, I love job 1 too. So what is it that is your goal? It's not necessarily everybody else's, it's yours. Okay. So the win, write it down. Take a second, really, really write it down. Okay. The next step, the what? And this one is always, it always like gets me for a second because there are so many different ways and so many different resources that you can use in order to get you to that next step. Again, it's dependent upon what you're looking to achieve. If you are looking to, and I just throw out simple figures and simple numbers. Let's say in the next month, we want to sustain being a diamond. What does that mean? We hit diamond, do we just stop talking to people? And this is the misconception sometimes. It's we hit diamond and oh my gosh, we did it. We're at the top of the mountain. And as much as I could say we're at the top of the mountain, there is still so much more out there and so many more people that need us that it's not the stopping point. Now, here's the catch. I also don't want it to overwhelm you. And I also want it to be about you. Again, I go back to that previous slide. It's about you. It's not about my goal for you. It's not about Brooke's goal for you. It's about you. However, we want to make sure that you're in that sustainable place. So what does that look like? So as we're talking about this, oh, there you go. I just did that. I hit and crashed for 3 weeks. Don't go on defense mode. Yes, for sure. And it's so true, Brooke. It really is up to you to continue to just share your journey. And if you are not committed to a program, or if you're not finding a program, guess what, guys? I know June is here, July is here. I've got kiddos. We're playing sports. We're vacation. We're getting ready to go to Summit soon. We have all the things coming up. So if there's not a program that's going to fit in your schedule, and you know what, you're going to be able to share the call we were just on, Brooke, after this, find something that works. I have a girl that I talked to yesterday that's doing what did she call it? Hold on, I'll tell you. She called it literally, it was just on a call yesterday. So let me see. I do talk to a lot of people, but it's right here. She called it her water. What did she call it? It's a 7-day free group, and she called it Jug and Journal. And they're just talking about water and journaling. So whatever it is that makes you excited, that you're continuously sharing, if things get crazy in life, don't step away, dive deeper in. So what is it you need to do? And I have this diamond roadmap on the screen just because this is what you just did. Like legit, this is what just happened to you. So check it out, breathe it in, because this is exciting. Like I have to say, when you hit this level, this is where you understand. You're starting to understand what it means to help other people. Look at how many people that you've helped. Congratulations. That's huge. Breathe it in. And realistically, again, it's about your journey and what's next. So I'm just going to ask really quick in the chat, if in the next month, you just hit diamond, in the next month, what do you want to do? Is it help 10 more people? Is it earn, I don't know, I just heard one, $150 to take your husband on a date night that you haven't been able to go on? What is it that you want to do? And let's put a tangible number behind it, or a tangible amount behind it. Get a working coach. I love it. I love it. Now dream big, Anne. What does that mean when you get a working coach? What does that look like? Because remember, we want to make sure, and I'm going to go back one slide. We want to make sure, that we're being specific so that we can measure it. So it is attainable, relevant, and we can put a timestamp on it. So as you're thinking, what does that mean? Okay, wants to run with me. I have a hubs and 2 hobby coaches. I want to build my hubby's account to diamond. I love it. I love it. Okay, so again, let's break it down. What does that mean? And as I think, get a working coach, I want to connect it to a personal dream. When you get a working coach, what will that do for you? Again, we're on this call, and you joined this call today because we are thinking a little business minded right now too. So I like to reference, we are going really from that employee mindset to the CEO mindset. and this is your business. This is an opportunity for you to potentially change you and your family's life. And again, income disclaimer, but I fully believe in the opportunities that Beachbody has to provide and has to provide for you going forward. How do we get there? And what does that mean? What is your why? And I love it, Brooke. You just asked my question. Yep. Okay. Build hubby to diamond and get another working coach and make more income. Okay. Again, working coach, and I'm going to keep digging, y'all. I hope you are giving me permission because I'm a digger. I love to dig. Working coach. If I were to give you in the next, I love it, Jenny. And I have to say that as you're listening to some of these questions that I'm asking, write them down. And I only say that because you will probably use some of the same content when you're talking to other people. It's just like when you're trying to get somebody to come into a challenge group and you're like, oh my gosh, so tell me about your workout regimen right now. What are you currently doing? How is your nutrition, right? These are the questions we ask for brand new challengers coming in. And I do have a list of questions that I've been putting together of just questions I'm hearing from different coaches of what they're asking challengers. I'm trying to put together a master one so that I can share it with everyone because I think it's super helpful. But there's so many questions that we ask challengers. The same thing goes whenever I'm asking new diamonds, existing diamonds. I have these calls, and I had this call with Brooke when I very first connected with her. In the next month, and I want you to pull Beachbody out, and I'm giving myself permission to say this right now. In the next month, Beachbody out of the brain. What do you want to do for you and your family? Where do you see yourself? I love this. Brooke, where are you guys going to go?
Honestly, I'm not quite sure yet. I'm like holding my breath for these next 3 weeks, but that's why I think I'm working so hard these next 3 weeks, because that bonus, my plan is to just take that. I don't even know, be like, where do we want to go? The Dells? Do we want to go to Six Flags? Do we want to do 2 nights? Like, I just want to be able to take them for 1 or 2 nights, but be able to do whatever we want and just not have that fear of like, oh, that dinner's going to cost too much. Like, it makes me teary-eyed. Oh my gosh. Okay. Someone else go.
No, and I love this. And I'm going to ask you, and I'm asking all of your coach to get specific. Write it down. Dream, girl. Dream. Like, write it down. What do you want to do when you get there? How much do you want to spend? How much do you want to give the kids to spend on souvenirs? Where do you want to go to eat? Start researching it. Put a dollar amount next to it, because until we write it down, it never happens. And I'm going to say that again, until we write it down, it never happens. And I'll use the example. I've lived in my house for almost 13 years. It'll be paid off in a few years. Well, the reason why it's going to be paid off in a few years is because I was strategic and wrote down what I wanted to pay in addition every single month for the last 10 years. Well, now there's stuff to be done. So every time we turn around, we're like, oh my gosh, we want to get a new pantry. Oh my gosh, we want to redo our backyard. But guess what I kept doing? I kept saying it and never writing it down. So was anything ever getting done? No, it was not. I just kept saying it. And I was speaking into the wind and it was blowing away every single time. So write it down, make it happen. Okay. Another workout coach. Oh, I lost all of the, I was losing all the chat, and there's so much going on. Sorry, guys. Another workout coach in order to make me more stable diamond, more income. So we leave okay. So how much more in income, Jenny? We keep digging. To pay for all my products. How much does that mean? And on the mortgage. Okay. How much extra on the mortgage? Take the kids on a plane ride. Ooh, where are you going to go? How much is it going to cost on that plane ride? Planning a trip to Florida. Ooh, where are you guys going to go? What are you going to do? How much is it going to cost? And this is not something that you have to share right on this call, but I'm challenging you right now to write it down. If it is a 3-month goal, create that timeline. Then from there, we can go in and we can plug in the Beachbody goal that is the catalyst to help you get there. Okay. And as you're thinking and as you're continuously writing, oh my goodness, we're seeing all kinds. I'll go anywhere just to get me out of here. Just kidding. The ocean. Yes, girl, I feel you. I want to go to the water. I live in Arizona and it's dry and it's hot. It's supposed to get 115 tomorrow, just so you guys know. So pray for me that I don't die. Working coach, not workout. Oh, working coach. Research Airbnb all the time, rent a house on the ocean, take them to Disney. I love this, you guys. I love this. Okay, I'm pulling out Jenny's right now. And the reason why I'm pulling this out is because the what, we're about ready to connect. And as we're going through this, in the next few slides, I really like to pull out what the what is, AKA $1,000 a month, and break it apart. Because when I think $1,000 extra a month, does it get daunting to me? It may. Are you going to build up to that? Is it on a timeline? Is it you want to make $1,000 a month within the next 6 months? So by the time we get to December, I want to make $1,000 every single month. Is that $200 a month this month extra? Maybe next month you're pushing for 400. Maybe the following month it's 600. Maybe the following month it's 800. And then the following month's 1,000. You get to your $1,000 mark. So this is where I emphasize, create that timeline of what that looks like for you. And maybe what I would suggest is 6 months. Write down this month all the way through December. Write down what you are looking for this month in comparison to 6 months from now. And get specific. This is where the specific part does come in. So this is where we can break apart. What do you need to do now? Maybe you're comfortable in diamond right now and you're like, you know what? This is what my goal was. And I want to achieve 1 star in a year. If that's what your goal is, great. Again, it's your goal, not ours. But what does that mean for you and your dream? Is that going to help you get to your dream? And if not, then you never change the goal, you change the plan. So what is the plan that's going to come with it? So what do you need to do? What does your dream need? So $1,000 a month within the next 6 months. So I'm just going to throw easy numbers because my math is terrible and it's Friday. I'm just keeping it real, y'all. Okay, so easy numbers. Let's look at 250 this month. And I'm just going to throw that number out there because it's an easier number for me to grasp a hold of. $250. If I handed all of you $250, what would you spend it on? Anybody? I'll tell you guys what I would spend it on right now. I'm going to put it in a bank account that I can watch grow because my daughter's going to be a senior, which makes me want to vomit. And all of the things are going to be due in the next year. I'm just keeping it real. What would you do with $250 if I handed you $250? Date night. Yes, yes. And I love the celebration. So don't take my advice. I'm like, you know what, $250, I probably should just go spend it on leggings because I clearly don't have enough. Ask my husband. Probably buy workout clothes. Ooh, you read my mind. New clothes. I love it. I love it. I love it. And I love the celebratory, and you're going to understand why I say celebratory. I'm huge on that. So, okay. So $250, nails done, and paint the house. Ooh, I love this. Okay. So you guys are really dreaming a little bit. And this is the importance of the 1 month. And this is why I break it down. So $250, what is the easiest way to get to $250? The easiest way that is pretty much a for sure. Anybody?
Are you talking about like in this business?
Yes, in this business.
Like SC10, I feel like get 5 people signed up because then you get that $100 bonus, right?
Yep. And
Ding, ding, ding.
let's talk just total solution pack, sharing it with 5 people.
Yeah.
Let's even pull out the Beachbody terms and say, sharing with 5 people and having them join you, right? The byproduct of that is SC10, right? So you've just achieved SC10. You're continuing to grow your organization. You're continuing to build some hype, some energy, some excitement. And you know what? I haven't even brought up the point that you're probably going to find some working coaches like you guys were just talking about earlier along the way. So helping 5 people SC10, you're continuing to build. And guess what? You're going to continue to work towards that $1,000 in 6 months. And all of the extras, the $100 bonus, the $25 that comes on top of it right now, because you're diamond or below from the beginning of June, like you guys are eligible for that. If you find somebody else that does 3 other people that do the same, once you hit that bonus, that's $125 right there, guys. Like that's quick. And that's a bonus opportunity that's just for right now. That's an incentive. I use all of them. Okay. Well, of course I have it right here, just so you know, Brooke, because I had to add this in because when I saw this come up, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this call for Brooke this week. And this is like perfect timing. Girls, there's extra money on the table right now too. So this is posted FAQ 7655. I'm not going to go deep into it, but amazing opportunity that you can earn an extra 125 this month alone. Extra opportunities, always amazing. Hit SC10 this month and we get 125. Where was I? I know, but hey, yes, better than the bobblehead. Amwala bobbleheads were last year. We're moving on up. We get money this year. So I'm taking it, right? I'm just kidding. Awesome. I love it. Game on. See? And this is just about continuously being sustainable and not necessarily just pushing for that title. 1 star is super important and we want you to get there, but by doing the right activities, it's going to happen organically. And I'm just keeping it real. Like that's my biggest thing that I love to say is in the last almost year since I started working with Brooke, what I'm noticing is she's being organic in what's going on in her business. And it's so beautiful to watch. And it can happen to anybody as long as the organic component comes in and it's not pushed. It's a beautiful thing. Okay. So obviously getting 5 people in a month sounds great, right? It's like, oh my gosh, okay, 5 people in a month. That might be what I've hit last month. How am I gonna do it again? And I think the next piece is the how. And that's really where it becomes, okay, so we've got this goal, we've got some planning, but we need some action steps behind it. And that's where the emphasis comes in on how are we actually going to make this happen? And again, this is such a generic presentation that I literally put together in the last few months, and I'm trying to tweak it. So if you have any suggestions, I'm all about it. But it's really about just helping you identify what the action steps are that can help you get to those 5 to get you that 250 to ultimately get you to that 1,000. Find that working coach in between, hitting SC10 and all the things that are byproducts that Beachbody provides, obviously. Getting to 5. That's 1 1/4 of a person per week, which 1/4 of a person, I guess, unless you're like Jeffrey Dahmer style, like it's not really possible, but you get my drift. 1 1/4 person per week. How many people, and this is where we reverse engineer a little bit. How many people do you potentially talk to in a week? And just brainstorm for a second. And how many of those people turn into conversations of potentially becoming a coach or becoming a new challenger or becoming a customer, whatever it may be? How many of those conversations do you need to have to get to that 1 person? So as you're thinking about this, I always like to break it apart because it seems more achievable when you do it like that. So just some ideas, the power of 3. How many people are you going to talk to? Power of 3, like, is it going to be on Messenger, friends, invitations, whatever it may look like? 3 people from each category per day. How can that translate? Ideas 5 to 5 to thrive. And I've got a breakdown of that, of 125 new connections a week. And the 100 no's challenge. I'm sure that everybody's probably seen the 100 no's challenge, trying to get to 100 no's by the end of the week. Because when you do that, they say statistically, how many people actually say yes after you get to the 100 no's. 5 to 5 to thrive. This is something I came up with probably 6 months ago. And it was just like I was just trying to figure out what's the best way that we can make sure that we're connecting in the right way. So I never eliminate the one thing that I knew really worked when I was in network marketing in the very beginning, and that was the one-on-one interactions, actually in person. Yeah, guys, we talk to people like normal and not just virtual, not just social media, but we forget about those connections sometimes too. So 5 to 5 to thrive, 5 new conversations off of stories or conversations that you've previously had. That's the first 5. 5 existing contacts or who do you know list. Now your who do you know list, I know I do this one. It's one of my favorite trainings that I love to do, but brain dump every person you know. Pull out your phone, your friends, your relatives, your occupation, your geographic, who lives next door to you that you may have not chatted with about your Beachbody and joining you in this journey. The third 5 referrals. Now, when I say referrals, it's kind of like a touchy topic because I think that sometimes when we think referrals, we think that I'm messaging Brooke and I'm like, hey, if you would send me a referral, I'll give you a $10 gift card to Amazon. Realistically, in my opinion, I think referrals can almost come organically as well by saying something as simple as, hey, Brooke, I know you've been seeing amazing results with what you're doing and you've been in my challenge group for a hot minute. Would you do me a quick favor and just share on your page what your story and your journey has been and tag me in it? That's a referral. Getting people to comment and like on that. That's where the connection piece comes in. 5 social, people who've liked or commented. 5 connections. And this is previous conversations, challengers, or previously not no's, but not right now's. Because in my opinion, all the no's are just means not right now. And a quick story, I remember I actually started in Avon World 12 years ago. My youngest daughter had just been born and I had put my information in online. I was a lead, by the way. I was a lead that they contacted me 4 times before I signed up. So when I say that, I was a not right now. So just because someone says not right now doesn't necessarily mean not ever. Okay, so 5 to 5 to thrive. 5 days a week with these 5 different activities, that's a total of 125 new potential contacts or contacts per week. How could you plug this into your power hour, power half hour, power 20 minutes, whatever it may look like? Going to a method that you can use every single time. So this was just an example that I created a while back, and you are more than welcome to use. And I can send you a screenshot of this too, Brooke, if that's helpful. Okay, so we're coming up with the how, and as you're finding these people to connect with, I do go through this, and this is a bigger training, but how do you connect with these people? Sometimes I feel like we're in the habit of sending the hey girl messages, and unfortunately, I hate to break it, but a lot of the hey girl messages aren't working anymore. And I like to use this example, and Brooke, I haven't even told you this yet. So about 3 weeks ago, I was in Vegas at a volleyball tournament with my daughters, and they had a break in between. And what do? Of course, I go for a jog in 100-degree weather in Vegas because I needed some exercise and needed to move my body. And I come back and of course I'm out of breath and I'm panting and needed water. And this mom was standing there and she goes, did you just go for a jog? And I'm like, yeah, I had to move my body. I was dying. She goes, what do you do for a living? And it was so random. I was like, I work for Beachbody. And she goes, oh. And I'm like, oh gosh, that was not a good oh. And so she goes, oh my gosh, there's this girl that just keeps messaging me and messaging me and messaging me. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, look at this message. So I kid you not, and I don't even remember the person's name, but I kid you not, she had 7 messages and they were all the exact same messages from the same person. It was the, hey girl, would love for you to join my next boot camp. I'm doing this, this, and this is happening. And it was the exact same blanketed message. And I was like, oh my gosh, it really does still happen. Did she ever respond to that girl? No. Long story short, after conversating with this person, she actually is intrigued by Beachbody. She's really intrigued by the fact that I had a transformation. She was buying the person, not the product. And so realistically, it's about how are you creating these conversations? So just to kind of give you a quick walkthrough, build rapport in relationships, get to know those connections. Ask them some questions, get to know who they are. Offer your relatability, tell your story and your transformation, tell your story from the lens of a challenger, tell your story from the lens of somebody that actually saw results. And then, you know what, tell your story now. Hey, I just achieved like a level in leadership with Beachbody, and I'm super excited because now I'm setting new dreams and new goals. And what's next? Solution. What do they need? And how do you recommend what could benefit them? This is where we can plug in Beachbody. And then setting them up for success. How do you follow up with them and identify those next steps? So this is just a quick run through of a conversation and how you can effectively continuously build those dreams and build those goals that you're working towards. And it being organically, that's going to create the sustainability. And I know I'm kind of going through this fast. So if anybody has any questions, I promise I'll get to it. Okay, so action steps. When, what, and how. We went through all three. If you did not take an opportunity to write down what your win is, putting that timestamp behind it, what that timeline looks like, what's in that timeline, and remember, think about your personals. Beachbody goals can go right underneath them because that's going to be the catalyst to help you get to those personals, right? What do you need? Well, what is it that you need in order to help you get there? Start brain dumping different ideas. Maybe it's talking to 5 more people and selling 5 more total solution packs. Maybe it's achieving the help one more incentive and getting that $125 when you help one more, and then you get 3 of your team to do the same. And then how? How does it happen? Are you going to use the 5 to 5 to thrive? Are you going to do the power of 3? Are you going to do 100 no's? Are you going to do a fun new creative challenge group that you're going to intertwine the body block and bring in fire and flow? I mean, whatever it looks like, how is that going to happen? So 3 things that I have been saying on every single call that I've been doing lately is set the goal, track it. By the end of every single week, if you want to just create that sustainable title, make sure that that rank is solid. Diamond is such a huge thing and such a huge rank to accomplish because, again, you're leader of leaders. And if you are locking arms with other people and doing it the same time that they are, that's where the sustainability comes in. That's where the magic happens. That's where the movement happens. That's where it organically starts to flourish. Then you're going to celebrate. I asked you, what would you do with $250? Think about how you're going to celebrate that. Celebrate those small wins, because I have to tell you that when you celebrate those small wins, those bigger wins, those big pee your pants visions, those big take your breath moments that you're like, oh my gosh, pay off my mortgage, that seems impossible. Those will seem a lot more achievable when you have those tangible small ones along the way. And then I always like to leave with a final quote, because there will be obstacles. There will be doubters. There will be mistakes, but with hard work, there are no limits. Okay. Do I have questions? Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay. Liking the referral idea, not complicated. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Brooke, I'm so excited. Like, I think that everybody is super excited. They're starting to really get some ideas. How do you guys feel? And be honest. Tell me, Tiffany, your presentation was terrible. My daughter could do a better job. I'm sure my kids could probably do a better job with my presentation, but you know.
I have 2 pages of notes here. This, I mean, at least for me, has helped me as a leader continue to lead leaders. I know you taught me this a long time ago when it was just me, like, take myself out of it, think of what other people want. And I think this has really just reinforced that. And the questions you ask and the very tangible tasks, I appreciate so much. Like, I am over here, like, between like chills and teary eyed and like excited and like wanting to go work and all the things. So this I am pumped that we did this. Thank you. I'd love to hear what you guys think too. If anyone wants to unmute themselves too, you are more than welcome.
Yes, absolutely. And make sure you friend me on Instagram because I don't have very many followers and I'm just kidding. I really don't, but I love it whenever I see you guys achieving your dreams. It's like something that makes my heart smile. And I know Brooke will attest, like every time I see something on social media and I can relate to the day that I very first connected with her. I honestly can. And it's so fun to see you guys achieving those dreams and those goals. And I don't know, I just love the celebrations that I see. And I'm so excited for all of you. And what a great accomplishment. I mean, even those that are watching this after on replay, I'm excited to celebrate with all of you. Like, honestly, and how many people are going to Summit? Please? Is everybody going to Summit?
Well, most of us, I think Jenny and Ann are. Ashley, we're going to try to still figure it out. I know she's got some childcare things. We're actually getting tomorrow. All of us are local. So we're getting them together tomorrow. I'm going to give them their diamond gifts and we're going to just like hang out, do dinner and drinks. I am all about like celebrate everything along the way. I'm like, you hit this rank, let's go do something. Let's go have fun.
I love it. Ashley, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that you can find setters. You guys all better find me at Summit. Anybody that's at Summit, I will be there. I'm super freaking excited. Brooke and I have only gotten to hug once at NLC. So I'm like,
I'm going to find you.
I'm so excited. Okay. So one action item, because I never leave calls without action items. I'm huge on it. I want you to find one sentence that you're going to write down on a sticky note, put it on your mirror in your bathroom, and giving yourself that belief every single day. And what I mean by this is I will connect with 5 new mamas like I was when I started. I will, whatever it may be, I will start earning $1,000 a month by December. Put out that positive affirmation. Look at it every single day. Because I know that Brooke believes in all of you. And again, you have an incredible leader in her, so use her. But I also believe in all of you. And it's going to be incredible to watch you continue to grow, just like I've been able to watch Brooke continue to grow. So awesome. I appreciate you so much, Brooke. And thanks for letting me join y'all.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate you too. I try to do that with my girls now. That is something I learned from you. I'm like, always leave them with a little task. And that's what I teach them with their coaches. I'm like, give them a task, have them come back and show it to you. So I will definitely be writing my I will statement. I don't have a sticky note right now, but I'll write it on my paper. And when I find my phone, I'll screenshot and I'll send it to you. And you girls send me yours too in our group chat or something so we can all hold each other accountable because we're not in this alone and we never have to be alone. So
yeah, and if you post it on Instagram, tag me. I want to see.
Yes, we will.
Please. Okay.
Awesome. Tiffany, thank you so much for hopping on. I am going to stop this recording.